Good morning, everybody. This is Dave Dominguez with Cross Country Mortgage. And today I'm joined with Rick Sepulveda from Realty One Group Integrity here in Tucson, Arizona. How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you for having me, Dave.
Yeah, anytime, man. So I have worked with Rick for the better of 2 years, maybe three.
Yeah, it's
And
2 years, maybe going 2.5 years.
yeah, and it's been great. What I like about Rick is he's easygoing, but he fights for his clients. He's got a huge amount of integrity with his clients. And it's just very honest, and those are the kind of people you want in your tribe. So Rick, tell me, how long have you been a realtor?
For about 2.5 years.
Sweet. Okay. Right on. Now, what were you doing in your previous life before you became a realtor?
So before I was a realtor, I was in the military for 20 years, joined in 2001 and retired in 2021, June of 2021. Yeah.
And what branch of the military were you in?
The Air Force.
Wow, thank you for your service, man.
Thank you so much.
20 years. Now, so you joined in 2001. Was that like as a result of 9/11, or was that just
Yeah,
part of the
actually
plan?
it was in March of 2001.
Oh, before.
And yeah, it was before. And I remember I had just gone through, so I actually worked munitions as well. And I had just gone through basic training. And then my first duty station was in California,
Mm-hmm.
in Edwards Air Force Base, California.
Right.
And I had just gotten there in August. So you could
Wow.
imagine a month later, September 11 happened, and it was pretty crazy. And I didn't know what to do. They just started giving me orders, and I
Right.
just obeyed. And yeah, it was a crazy time.
Wow. Now, did you see any action like overseas? Were you sent out?
No,
Oh,
I did
okay.
not. So Edwards Air Force Base is a training base. We didn't really have. Yeah, I never really deployed
Okay.
because of it.
Right.
But I have been deployed, but not in direct relation to that.
Gotcha. Right on. Okay. Right on. So, okay. So fast forward 20 years. You're coming up on your retirement, and I'm sure you're thinking, like, what am I going to do post military? What made you decide on real estate? What was your thoughts on that?
Well, I decided on real estate because I was taking the end goal in mind, right?
Mhm.
So I looked at where I was and what I wanted to do and how I wanted to live my retired years.
Mhm.
And basically, I decided that the avenue to get to where I wanted to be was real estate. I had other options. Of course, I could have stayed within the military. I could have stayed in the military. I still had time.
Sure.
I could have gone to somewhere like Raytheon or other contracting jobs that are within munitions in the
Mhm.
military, or government.
Mhm.
But I decided that I was going to kind of break away and I wanted to take on the challenge of doing real estate.
Right on, man. Cool. So, let's talk about family. So, married, kids.
Yeah, been married since 2005. So that's
Oh
coming up
man.
on, I know, coming up on 18 years. In fact, in a
Wow.
month, it's going to be my 18-year anniversary.
That's fantastic. Right
Thanks
on.
for the reminder, Dave.
We gotta look out for each other,
I
man.
know, I know. So yeah, so I got to make sure and do something good for that. But
Right.
so I've been married for almost 18 years now. I've got 3 kids. Their ages are 11, 9, and 6. They're all coming up on birthdays as well. In fact, this month, no, next month is also my youngest son's birthday, and he
Oh
turns
wow.
7.
Right
Yeah.
on. Those are fun ages. My girls are 10 and 12, and I still see them as babies, when they're sleeping, you check on them, and they look like babies to me still. But it's just fun to see like their personalities come out, what they're interested in, what they're not interested in, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty
For,
cool.
for me, it's a little bit like I get to see them grow. And, I think actually one of the things that I'm really starting to get is their interest in sports and seeing them excel in sports. And they may not be the best, but they give their best. And that to me is like, wow, that's pretty amazing. And
Yeah.
then their language, their progression in language.
Hmm.
So as they say a new word to me, I'm like, where'd you get that word from? Where'd you hear that from? What? It's just amazing how you get to see them grow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
Dude, wait till they get a little bit older. Like my 12-year-old is teaching me like the new slang and stuff. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
learning new
yeah,
words, like Riz and stuff like that. That
yeah.
no idea what she's talking about. So she has to school me on that stuff. Um, so okay, let's go back to real estate. So you've been in there for going on 2.5 years. Um, you've helped clients from all over the spectrum, first time buyers, investors, that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Is there any certain clientele that you do you have a niche that you like to work with, or is it just everyone? Or
So yeah, I wish I could say that I had a niche, but the thing is that I'm about people, right? And once you get to know them, no matter who it is, like whether it be investors, whether it be people that are getting their second home, vacation home out here, first time home buyers, people that have been struggling for so long, and
yeah,
then they finally get to buy a home. So, or maybe these are college people that are thinking about buying a home and then they're barely getting started. I think once I get to know the person and understand them, their motivation, it honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who they are,
right.
what niche or whatever. It's just seeing someone accomplish their goal of buying a home. Yeah.
I I had an old coach tell me one time, the key to working with people is to get to the why behind the why. Well, I want to buy a house. Well, why? Well, it's good for my future. Well, why is it good for your future? Well, it's a place for my kids to grow up in. Okay, so you want to buy a house for your kids
Hmm.
for stability. Um, yeah, that's really great. Then you can figure out and help them out from there.
Yeah.
Um, so, and then you've done projects on your own. You've got a deal going on right now. Tell us about your project you got cooking.
And so the deal that I have right now is out in Green Valley. It's been so can I step back a little
Yeah,
bit?
go for it. Yeah.
So I got into real estate because I wanted to become an investor. And it's
Hmm.
kind of like I get imposter syndrome whenever I say I'm an investor, just because I don't feel like an investor. I'm just a person that is trying to buy some homes. And so using the word investor, I kind of get that imposter syndrome.
Sure.
But
Sure.
but I really am. If you have a home and you rent it out, or if you have a home and you're starting to flip it or whatever it is, you're an investor. And
Yeah.
so I actually, once I got out of the military, maybe just a couple months after, I bought my first home and I rented that out. It took me a little while because I was kind of piecing it together,
Hmm.
trying to figure out everything on my own. And once I got that figured out, got a tenant in there. In fact, I really enjoyed the tenants. And
Oh, cool.
yeah, I mean, but again, it's the people, right? And you treat them right, they treat you right, mutual respect. So then after I bought that one, I ended up buying one in Texas, got a tenant in there. And then I ended up buying one out here. So I spoke to a good friend of mine who also retired from munitions. And then he heard about what I was doing. We talked about it, and I was like, dude, let's partner up. Let's
Yeah.
do something together. So sure enough, we ended up we found a good deal, partnered up on it, and now we hold that one. So now I've got three rentals.
Nice.
one partnered up, and then I decided, man, we're running out of capital. So every time you buy a home and you hold it, you have to leave some capital in the home. So now it's like, if I want to keep progressing and keep moving forward, now I can't hold all the properties that I want to hold. So
Mhm.
I decided to flip. So now this home that I bought, it was a great deal. Bought it, and this is the first time that I'm actually flipping it myself. And I've had some bad experiences with contractors,
Can
which I'm sure
happen.
everybody can understand.
Yeah.
So I just kind of started piecing it together on my own, learning it myself, and meeting with the people. And that's where I'm at right now. I've had it for about 3 weeks. Right
Mhm.
now it's completely gutted. Went to Home Depot, they designed my kitchen, I ordered the cabinets, um did the landscaping myself, ordered the rock, uh
That's some
did
work,
the whole
dude.
the rock. Oh my goodness, my back is so sore.
Yeah.
But and it was hot, but it was a great experience doing it all myself,
Mhm.
with the help of my partner as well. He came down for a couple days and he helped.
That's
We took
cool.
out the irrigation, redid the whole irrigation, never done that before. And once you get started on it, it's amazing how simple some of these things really are.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's really nice just being able to get to learn, grow, piecing it together, and just saying, I had a piece of that. I put a lot of
That's your
blood,
shit.
sweat, and tears into
Yeah.
it.
Busted
Tears,
knuckles and all
sometimes
that.
tears literally too. It's been super stressful,
Oh yeah.
but it's been good.
Right on. When I bought my first house, it was a mess, and the first thing I did was I went to Home Depot and bought, like, they used to have this big orange book, and it was like a how-to of everything, you know, from simple like light bulb to drywall installation. Like, they had everything in this book. Now there's YouTube, so like if you get
Yeah,
stuck, how to do my own irrigation or whatever, go watch a YouTube video real quick. But dude, that book that I had from Home Depot after a couple of years was just beat up, tons of little dog ears, but yeah, there's sometimes you just gotta get your own hands on it, and learn as you go.
yeah,
uh, and then that's something that you've got forever, and you can look back and say, I did that. Which we've talked about as guys, I think is really important,
yeah.
to have a
100,
project.
100% agree. Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool. So what do you okay, next question, future wise, what do you think is going on in the real estate market? What do you think is where we're going to be in 6 months or a year? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So some of it is because I don't just help others buy and sell. I kind of feel like that I'm looking into it, looking to buy, and just I'm also doing the investment side. So I kind of feel some of it is just the feeling, right? You just kind
Sure.
of feel it brewing. I don't know for sure, right? But I kind of feel like there's a little bit of hard times coming up here in the near future. I'm not even talking about the interest rates. The interest rates are
Right.
difficult
Yeah.
for sure. But I just think that if you're in the market to buy, I think this is a great time to do it because you can negotiate your price to a certain extent, right? As long as
Right.
it's reasonable, you can negotiate your price, you can negotiate seller concessions. There's so many options for you right now as a buyer that I would highly recommend to buy. Okay, if you're in a great position to buy. That being said, who knows what's going to happen in the future with interest rates, but I do feel like they are, if not at their peak, very close to their peak.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
And if we can wait or we can sustain, and I say we, right? Because I'm also buying, but
Right.
If
Mhm.
we can sustain a home, say if we buy right now, we could sustain a home through 2024 and get to 2025 to where I think maybe interest rates would be maybe not a lot better, but I say at least 6%,
Yeah.
maybe even 5%, which is totally reasonable in my opinion.
Mhm.
Uh, I think that you would be in a great position because number one, you negotiated a great price, maybe even seller concessions, and then a year later you get to refinance into a much better interest rate. So that's my opinion of real estate right now.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
hard to say that, and seeing what we're seeing right now with the interest rates, and especially where some people might not have that opportunity to buy, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, I agree with you too. You know, just seeing how the last year has gone, um, you know, and the experts out there, the Federal Reserve, things like that, are seeing that inflation is starting to cool off. You know, that was really the big driver behind rates going up was inflation. So now that that's kind of chilling out, I think sometime middle of next year we should see some relaxing, like real relaxing on interest rates.
Mhm.
And then the floodgates will open. A lot of sellers are not selling because they're handcuffed to their house because of the low interest rate they've got. So once rates come down a little bit and it's a little more attractive for someone to sell their place to move somewhere else, we'll see inventory go up, which will help a lot of people. Um, but to your point with regarding negotiations and stuff, the people that are selling their houses right now have to sell their house right now for whatever reason, whatever life event they've got going. So I've seen a lot more ability to negotiate, whether that's sales price or seller concessions or whatever, so yeah, it is a good time.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So, well, man, I appreciate you coming on here. This is episode number 2, so we're still working out the bugs and stuff of this crazy YouTube idea that I had. There goes my wife. um, so let's do shameless plug. Rick, what's your phone number? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, the best way to get a hold of me, you can reach me in my cell phone, 325-320-1639. Also email ricksepulveda13@gmail.com. And just reach out to me, send me a message. I'd love to be able to help you. Of course, I'm with Realty One Group Integrity. And just looking to help as many people as possible.
Right on. I really enjoy working with Rick. We'll have his contact information down in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. This is Dave Dominguez with Cross Country Mortgage, and we'll see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.